every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport. Veraburn, medical supply partner of varsity athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U-Sports championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues des championnats U-Sport. By Connect Energy, proud presenting partner of this U-Sports championship. Par Connect Énergie, fier partenaire de ce championnat U-Sport. And by GFL, proud title partner of the 2024 GFL U-Sports Women's Hockey Championship. Par GFL, fier partenaire en titre du championnat de hockey féminin U-Sport 2024.
Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy on CBC. I'm Ryan Flaherty alongside Rhianna Kaminsky, and we're glad to have you with us for this second consolation semifinal between the UNB Reds out of the Atlantic University Sport Conference and the UBC Thunderbirds, the Canada West Women's Hockey Champions. A couple of teams that had their sights set a little bit higher here this week, but now they're playing on the consolation side. Rhianna, as we take a look at our bracket, of course, UBC came in highly touted, number 2 seed here in the tournament. UNB was the number 3 seed. They were both upset here in the quarterfinals just last night. UBC losing to Montreal and UNB falling to the Toronto Varsity Blues. The question is, Rhianna, who do you think has more left in the tank coming back for back-to-backs here?
Well, I mean, if we're looking at time-wise, UBC definitely had a little bit longer of a rest as they played yesterday afternoon, whereas UNB played last night, so such a quick turnaround for them. In terms of who's going to come out on top today, it's really such a toss-up. I mean, that upset for UBC could have been pretty terrible, but UNB, we'll see.
We will see. We will indeed. Opening face-off is just moments away. The teams are onto the ice. We'll be back with the opening face-off. This is the 2024 GFL U-Sports Women's Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy on CBC.
We are looking for talented players to join our team.
The Health Sciences Association of Saskatchewan is a union representing an all-star team of over 4,000 specialized healthcare professionals, giving it their all in over 30 professions within Saskatchewan. Our members are geared up and at the drop of a puck are ready to help you get your health back in the game. You'll find our members in hospitals, emergency services, communities, and long-term care. Your hometown team, ready to assist you in reaching your health goals. HSAS are proud sponsors of the gold medal game in support of the Saskatoon Food Bank.
Parce que le sport, ça se regarde en direct. Soyez au cœur de l'action avec les web-diffusions en direct d'événements sportifs.
Immense. J'ai des frissons.
Hey you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Ton histoire est une d'épopée, des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
A couple of teams that came to Saskatoon hoping to put their hands on the Golden Path Trophy. That will not be happening for them, but still a chance to finish out their seasons on a high note as we get set for this second consolation semifinal here at the 2024 GFL U Sports National Women's Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy. It was the UBC Thunderbirds, the number 2 seed in the tournament, against the number 3 seeded UNB Reds, a pair of conference champions bowing out of the medal contention in the opening round and now looking to regroup and redouble their efforts to get into the win column and a chance to play the Huskies, the Saskatchewan Huskies, for 5th place tomorrow. The loser of today's game will be done for the tournament and for their season. Starting goaltenders this afternoon for the UBC Thunderbirds are Elise Hugans, who had a sparkling year here for UBC. She looks to come back and backstop a victory for the Thunderbirds. And as for the UNB Reds, it is last season's U Sports Player of the Year, Kendra Woodland, in between the pipes for UNB, as she looks to provide a wall for the Reds. Puck is just about set to get dropped. Ryan Flaherty, Brianna Kaminsky with you. Glad to have you with us here on this semifinal Saturday here in Saskatoon. Thunderbirds win the draw and send the puck into the UNB zone. UBC high-flying offensive team and looking to pounce early at shot attempt, or at least a push to the net by McKinnon, just wide. The Thunderbirds captain retreats to her defensive position. There's a shot from Wong, kicked out by Kendra Woodland. Early pressure here from the UBC Thunderbirds on the opening shift. Wong with a shot right through, stopped by Woodland.
Of course, UNB, heavy defensive team, and we're already seeing that get tested by UBC with those first couple chances on net they have.
Let's remind folks how these teams ended up here. It was UBC falling in a 4-2 loss to the Montreal Canadiens, the 2 versus 7 matchup yesterday afternoon, and then UNB a tight defensive game against Toronto, a late goal by the Varsity Blues lifting them to a 2-1 win, and that is why we have 2 of the top 3 seeds here on the consolation side of the bracket after a pair of upsets on Friday. Bazzi into the UNB zone, laid down the wall and tipped ahead. Bassi over there holding it in briefly was Morris, but it comes out to center, and now here come the UNB Reds. A solo mission there from April Reiner, who tracks the puck down into the corner, laid around behind the net. Over there to send it back around the net, Mackenzie Keenan, first team All-Canadian for UNB this season. Centering pass, that is knocked away. Skating the other way is Cassidy Rhodes. On the stick of Bassi, who's staying out for the late part of this shift. Gets a shot through, stopped by Woodland. A rebound, another save. Here's Basti with a chance, just wide. Thunderbirds buzzing in the opening 90 seconds. Pepler with a shot, and that took a deflection into the corner. LaPlante pinches in to play the puck back in deep as it rolls around to the near corner. And tied up there along the boards. Mia Baird for UBC plays it back to the line, but there was nobody there. And the puck drifts back into UBC territory. LaPlante back for, off the wall, and here we're gonna have our first penalty of the game, and just like that, UBC, after some good chances early, they're gonna have to kill one off, just 2:02 in.
And that's kind of what happened in their game. They lost to the Montreal Caravans is they ran into quite a bit of penalty trouble, and when some of your top players are spending so much time in the box, it's really going to hurt you, whereas UNB tended to be a little bit more of a disciplined team.
Kaylee Pepler to the box. Yeah, UBC took 8 penalties in their quarterfinal against Montreal. They killed all of those 8 penalties off, but it really took away any sort of offensive thrust that they had going. Now UNB to work on the power play. A shot through, stopped by Elise Huggins. That off the stick of AUS Player of the Year, Lily George. She comes back to the line for Keenan, dishing off. Shot towards the goal, tipped right on, stopped by Huggins. A rebound, stays out somehow with Huggins down and somewhat out of the play, but the defense rallying to the cause there. A couple of close calls already here in the opening half minute of the power play for UNB. The puck is loose and cleared down the ice by Ryland McKinnon. This is the first power play of the tournament for the Reds, as Toronto did not take a single penalty in yesterday's game. And so this is the first power play opportunity for UNB here in Saskatoon. Puck sent around to the far side, but it's going to be cleared out of the zone and back out to center. New Brunswick's power play this season, looking at a 26.6% rate. That was tops in the AUS and 3rd best in the country. UBC will send them back the other way with still 45 seconds left in the infraction. Thunderbirds penalty kill this season, also very good, 87.1% on the year. And as I mentioned, 8 for 8 here in this tournament as it's cleared down the ice once again. Just 30 seconds left now as Woodland plays it behind the goal to Keenan. We'll have to race back for it now. And it's played over to the near side by Hargraves, but just out of the reach there. And it's slammed back into the UNB zone. Just 10 seconds left. 5-on-4 advantage here for UNB. Back into the zone. A shot from the wall, skips across the front of the goal, comes around Peyton Hargraves. Cycling back down to the corner. Bouncing off a couple of skates down there. One able to control it there was Scott. And out with it, Ryland McKinnon. Thunderbirds captain towards the top of the circle. Puck slid off her stick just before she was about to make that pass, and UNB takes over once again. But that outlet cut off by a Hedsey McKinnon, who looked like she was leaving the ice, but then saw an opportunity to keep the play alive. Coming back over, Joelle Fiala, shot. There's a save by Woodland. A rebound into the far corner, cleared out to center ice. UBC, though, coming right back in, but that pass too far for Joelle Fiala. The Reds slam it down the ice, and this will be icing against UNB. 15-14 to go in the first.
And already we're seeing that physical style of play that the UBC team really likes to play. Of course, they're going to have to make sure they're staying a little bit more disciplined with it today, so they're not spending quite as much time in the box, because that really started to hurt them.
Play with fire, eventually you're going to get burned. It's 9 for 9 now on the kill, and this game's still scoreless as we approach the 5-minute mark. Sounded like UBC coaching staff were not super happy with the performance yesterday, and I think the team got pretty rude awakening afterwards. A chance in front, and there's Wong with a bid right on, kicked out by Woodland, and you can see this UBC team certainly looks like they got the message. However, it was delivered after yesterday's loss. They did not expect to be in this half of the bracket, but they want to make sure they come away with some positive vibes from this tournament. As there's a takeaway in the corner, played right out front, mishandled by Huygens, a shot stop, rebound sent just wide of the post. Oh, so close there for UNB.
Fantastic opportunity for them, just not letting up at all in front of the net there.
Smith kept the play alive briefly, but now it's cleared out and down into the UNB zone. Robin Brokenshire back out of the UNB end of the ice. And a soft backhand down to UBC territory as the Reds make changes. Thunderbirds looking to pounce. That pass too far for Shanry Bassey, and back for it goes Keenan. Missed her teammate with that pass, and that'll be icing against UNB. Just over 6 minutes gone in the opening period. The Reds, their interim head coach, Kyle McDonald. 3 straight AUS titles. Not a bad resume coming into this tournament. There's a shot for the point, tipped right on, stopped by Woodland. Anna Perrier, who's drawn into the lineup here today for UBC, got her stick on that shot. That's the only lineup change for UBC today, at least in terms of personnel. They've shuffled the forward lines and the bottom 2 D pairs. So some different players playing together, but Perrier the only new face in the lineup, as Olivia Buckley is a scratch to make room for her today. There's a pass in front as Weeb tried to redirect that on goal. Perrier now working for it inside the line, but it's taken away by UNB. Shots 4-4 here in the early going. Thunderbirds have already killed off a penalty. Elliott goes back in their own zone, hanging around the boards and out. Kinsey Kordick down to the UNB line. The Thunderbirds were starting a line change, so no support there for the leading scorer in the Canada West. Now Kordick with it in the corner, trying to get it out front, but that's off a leg, and now we're going to have a UNB penalty as the whistle blows, an interference signal being made. It's Lauren Carter hit it to the box.
Good opportunity here for UBC to get their top line out in front of that UNB net, and UNB going to show what they do best, and that's shut things down defensively.
UBC, in contrast to the amount of times they were killing penalties yesterday, just had 2 power plays in that game against Montreal. However, they did score on one of those power plays, so 1 for 2 at the tournament here, coming in to this first opportunity today. Wong waiting for it at the near point. Pass comes to her. She bobbles, but just holds it in. Across to the far circle. Bassey waiting, thinking, plays it back to the line to Gaskell. Cross for Wong. McKinnon down at the bottom of the circle. Back to Annalise Wong, and now Sophia Gaskell to the top of the slot. Shot just wide. McKinnon plays it off the end boards, but now gets pressured off the puck. Good effort by UNB to try to steal it back, but 3 T-Birds out, work 2 UNB Reds, and now finally the Reds clear the puck down the ice. A minute gone in the Lauren Carter minor. 12 minutes and change to go in the first period. Still waiting for our first goal here. Thunderbirds power play that clicked at a 26% or a 23% rate during the regular season.
So 1-4 chance here.
Back out to the neutral zone. Just 40 seconds left in it now. Rhodes had to hold up, and now Kordick caught inside the line as Morris got a little jumpy to get in.
So a little bit of opportunity there with a couple shots on the power play, but not making much happen quite yet as the Thunderbirds.
Give a little more accurate number. 21.7 is the percentage on that power play for UBC. So it was pretty close. It was
Close to the 1 in 5.
That's right. But already, you know, they scored just 1 in 18 tries during the Canada West playoffs, and they've already matched that here in the quarterfinal. Reds penalty kill, though, it is tough to contend with. 90% even on the season. Whew. 10 seconds left. Here's Pepler with a shot. That doesn't get through. Blocked down there and sent down the ice. As Huygens smacks the paddle to signal the end of the play, and out steps Carter, having served her time. 9 minutes gone in the first period. Still scoreless here at Merlis Belsher Place. Carter back into the action. Pass comes up to the line, and now a one-on-one situation here. Rushing down the ice. A toe drag move made there by Drost, but he gets rudely knocked to the ice. UBC's offense gets a lot of the headlines, but their defense very strong as well. Giving up less than a goal and a half per game this season. As Keenan plays it to the wing, but that was off the skate of Bailey McMaster. Now the T-Birds control. Kanisha Miswagon. Back for McKinnon. Tipped ahead by Fiala. Doesn't get in deep. However, no chance for the Reds to capitalize on that. That center and bobbled around, and a hand pass called. Bring a stoppage in play with 10:10 to go here in the first.
Okay, we were discussing hand passes a little bit yesterday, looking for some clarification. If you grab it and have it down, that is okay, but it's when you make that forward motion that it gets called.
It's
right?
any contact with your hand, that is, the puck is then immediately played by another player.
Okay.
That's how it goes. So it can go off your hand in any kind of way. It can even just be a deflection. But if you don't then touch it with your own stick before another teammate does,
it's a hand.
That's your hand pass. So there you go. Past the midway mark here in the first. That pass gets away from Thorpe. And that'll be an icing call against UBC. So the faceoff coming back down into the UBC zone. To the right of Elise Hugin's shot, still stuck at 4-4 here. She had some early flurries, but now things have kind of settled in here. Across, and chance there for Drost, but that deflects up and into the UNB bench, and that will bring us to immediate timeout here in the first. CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the gold medal game at the 2024 University Cup tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on CBC Gem, cbcsports.ca, and the CBC Sports app. U Sports on CBC, chase the glory. No score here in Saskatoon. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Hey, change makers. Change it up. Turn ideas into action. Passion into purpose. And questions into real solutions. Because whatever path you choose, here, you'll make an impact and get ready to change the world. Make your change. Discover your story at Waterloo.
Back inside Merlis Belsher Place here at the University of Saskatchewan campus in Saskatoon. No score between the UNB Reds and UBC Thunderbirds in this second Consolation semifinal here. The GFL 2024 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy. The Thunderbirds trying to get something working here in the UNB zone. The boards, a battle for it along the wall. Nystrom takes a bump. Perrier takes the puck and fires a shot high off the glass. Kordic towards the front of the net. Cleaned up there by Lindsay Smith. It's popped back in front, but Nystrom was ready and waiting for that. Reds making a line change. T-Birds trying to catch them on it. Kordic brings it right back in, but UNB quickly back, of course, in the first period. Your shorter changes. Easier to get out back into your defensive zone on those. Now the Reds start to move it up the ice. Sent in deep by Hargraves. The UNB captain will chip and chase her own. Coming out from behind the net, or at least trying to there, was Reiner, but the puck left behind, and now UBC skates it out. Fleming up ahead. Henry Bassey now stopping on a dime in the corner. Plays it back to the line. Now McKinnon hands it right back to her. Bassey swings it around the goal. Chasing it down there, Cassidy Rhodes, one of the goal scorers yesterday for UBC. Misswagen right back behind the net. Bassey setting up, trying to find someone, but before she can, it's taken off her stick. Good play defensively there by Lauren O'Neill. Up to the line, Misswagen stepping up to keep it going. As it bounces around, Bassey settles, doesn't have a shooting lane. Turning back now across, looking for the tip, but Rhodes couldn't get her stick untangled. And now here comes Marissa Valla speeding the other way.
Such speed out of Valla.
Valla winds, fires, and that one is absorbed by Misswagen. Water bug on the ice there, Marissa Valla. All 5 foot 1 inch out there. But she really makes life difficult on opposing defenses with that speed and tenacity in the O-zone. She was one of the best players for UNB last night in the loss to Toronto. As it's sent in by Melanie Drost. T-Bird's back for it. Gaskell wraps it around the boards, and it's knocked back out, and now a 2-on-1. Here's Fiala. She's got Wong in the middle. Fiala, a shot, scores! The local kid makes good. Joelle Fiala gets the T-Birds up front. 1-0 here in the first.
Just down the road of Clovette, Saskatchewan. Nice and patient and manages to get it 5-hole on the woodlawn there. Beautiful play by her.
And the UBC Thunderbirds have their first lead of the tournament. That goal coming at the 13:06 mark here in the opening period. Joelle Fiala, you said it, from right outside Saskatoon in Clovette. In her final year, her final season, and what she hopes will be her second last game in a T-Birds uniform. She scores in front of her hometown fans. And the Thunderbirds talked about that coming into the tournament, how you know, they were the only other Canada West representative here, and this rink is one they've played a lot in, unlike all the other teams, and they felt that would give them a little bit of an edge. Now, of course, it didn't turn out that way yesterday, but still, it's a bit of a home away from home playing in another Canada West barn.
Big time.
When you have a couple of players from the area, that also helps to bring out the crowd support on the road, as that pass into the middle is intercepted, and here comes Lily George the other way. 1-on-1. George, pardon me, that is 73. Not 7. I couldn't see the 3 on the jersey there. That was Lauren O'Neill. Thought she looked a little tall to be Lily George. Murdoch having some difficulty with it in the UNB zone. Hargraves now gets to it and plays it across. In comes Scott. What a rookie campaign for Caitlin Scott as the shot is steered up out of play by Huggins. Caitlin Scott just bursting onto the scene this season for UNB. Second in conference scoring with 32 points this season, including 11 goals.
Got it all for a rookie.
Not too shabby. She led the conference with 21 assists, in fact. Face-off won by UNB, a shot trickling down to the crease, but cleared out of the danger area. And the Thunderbirds go back the other way. Cordick down the right wing, stops just above the goal line. Watched closely there by Rain Murdoch as it's sent in behind the goal. Perrier trying to track it down, but coming away with it, Peyton Hargraves off the boards. And there is Lily George trying to track the puck along the wall.
Another player that was so instrumental in that game yesterday.
Someone you want to keep your eyes on anytime she's on the ice. She is appointment viewing, to be sure. Nipissing First Nation in Ontario. As Rhodes goes back. Nice job in the back check to take it away, but the UNB with a good second effort will send it behind the net. McKinnon, though, was back there for UBC. Cordick settling things down. Under 5 minutes to play now in the first. Shots are just 5 apiece. It is the Thunderbirds with the 1-0 lead, and now a takeaway by Fleming. Trying to give it back to Bassey. That was intercepted, and then Reds get it out. Solo rush here, taking it all the way down. Haley Jackson to the end boards, lays a bump down there on the defender, and that is Gaskell, who is favoring her left arm coming off the ice. That is not a good sign for UBC, as she is going to head right down the tunnel, and that did not look good. I'll have to keep an eye on her status the rest of the way. At the very least, I doubt we'll see her the rest of this period. There's a shot skipped on goal. Huggins fumbled the rebound, but cleared away from the front of the net. That was a tough bouncer to handle. Now, T-Birds rush it down the ice. Thrown to the front, looking for Elliott. That pass broken up. It goes behind the goal. Fiala brings it out. Backhander blocked. Another shot shoveled on goal. Kicked out by Woodland. Wong's centering pass finds Fiala. Shot. That's blocked. And back to the line for LaPlante, who sends it across to Kaylee Pepler. Back to Sierra LaPlante. Wrist shot. That's deflected wide. Woodland may have gotten a piece. Elliott working off the wall. Wrist shot up high off Woodland and over to the near corner. Pepler behind the goal for Wong. Elliott now. Wrist shot. That changed directions and just missed. And now a line change happening in the O-zone as McCallum takes over for UBC. Cycling it back down the wall. Wong leaned on there. She's going to turn and make her way to the Thunderbirds bench, and now Misswagen sprinting across to shut it down. Great pressure here by the Thunderbirds. A long shift here in the UBC zone. Misswagen, the top of the circle, wrist shot tipped right on, stopped by Woodland, who covers up.
Good call by Woodland, icing that puck. Kind of had a fumble a little bit on that rebound, but Great Eyes was able to get back on top of it. And of course, fantastic job by UNB. That's a really strong defense. That was a long shift in their zone.
UNB this season, their defense was pretty strong indeed. They only conceded 47 goals in their 28-game regular season, so that's just a 1.7 average. And of course, when you have a player like Kendra Woodland in there, that certainly helps. Of course, Cassie McCallum, the other goaltender, played a lot this season as well, so should be given a lot of credit for that number too. As they nearly split the starts evenly this year, did McCallum and Woodland. But Woodland's been the one doing the work in the postseason here for UNB. She's been in for every game of their playoff run. We've seen them win 5 of 6 games in AUS playoff competition. 2 minutes remaining here in the first. George looking for it. Over comes Hargraves to help. Laid ahead onto the stick of Kaylee Pepler. LaPlante spots Bassey at center. Chanry Bassey trying to get around George. She falls to the ice, and the Reds take over. Through center, tipped ahead by George. Down towards the UBC goal, but Pepler is back. Lays it up the wall, but George was the first person there. Around the near side instead. This time Bassey able to get a stick to it and get it out to center. Rhodes forcing the issue. Laying that puck further in deep. Fleming giving chase, but George got there first. He got it around behind the net, and a stick stuck in the door there. That's a tough break for UNB. That can also be dangerous, but looks like Lindsay Smith is okay as she gets her baton back. And Lily George races the other way, dropping it behind her back to herself off the boards. But the Thunderbirds had plenty of defenders back, and they take it away. Bassey cross ice, that bounces on Elliott, but Grace Elliott now takes it along the boards. McCallum looking to get it back to her, but he was well covered in front that time by Lauren Carter. Now Carter trailing the play. Drost has it, shot up high, blockered up into the protected netting by Elise Huggins with just 33 seconds left in the first.
This is interesting to see this UNB team playing today, because last night I would say they had a little bit more of a passive game, but today they're managing to step themselves up to the level of UBC. They're playing a little bit more physically, seeing them play a little bit faster as well, which is just so interesting.
The third straight appearance at this tournament for UNB, of course being the 3-time consecutive AUS champions. That's kind of elementary, but of course they're still looking for their first title. The program was just reinstated into U Sports in the 2018-19 season, so 3 trips in their 5 seasons since that. That's a pretty good percentage. But still looking for their first medal, and they'll have to wait at least another year for that. Right now, they want to get to that 5th place game. There's a shot towards the goal, and bouncing around some skates, a late shot from McCallum, but that was just at the buzzer. And that will do it for the first period, as a good flurry of shots there late in the opening frame. 12-7 Thunderbirds, and they lead it 1-0 after 1 period of play. You're watching 2024 GFL U Sports Women's Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy on CBC.
In the heart of every girl, there's a dream. Gliding on the ice, scoring the winning goal. Greatness isn't just found in the big leagues. It starts right here in our communities. At these rinks, with these girls. Here's to the dreamers, the believers, and the ones who lace up their skates. Saskatoon Mitsubishi, empowering dreams, one stride at a time.
Parce que le sport, ça se regarde en direct. Soyez au cœur de l'action avec les web diffusions en direct d'événements sportifs.
In the heart of Saskatoon, where the winters are long, hockey is not just a sport, it's a way of life. Behind every team, there's a community that supports them. At Connect Energy, we're proud to be a Saskatoon-based company that powers local businesses with natural gas options to help them thrive. We're excited to sponsor the 2024 GFL U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. Join us in supporting local businesses and the future of hockey.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Parce que le sport, c'est aussi des parcours inspirants. Un regard unique sur l'humain derrière l'athlète.
Exploiter mon potentiel maximum, c'est un truc de fou.
Découvrez les récits numériques et vidéos de Podium sur radiocanada.ca et sur l'appli Info.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC and our coverage of the GFL 2024 Women's Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy in Saskatoon. And after 1 period of play, it is the UBC Thunderbirds leading the UNB Reds 1-0 in this Consolation semifinal. Every year, U Sports celebrates its best student athletes and coaches, honoring major accomplishments in each sport. Here are the nominees and winners of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year and U Sports Rookie of the Year awards.
The nominees for U Sports Women's Hockey Rookie of the Year are en nomination pour le prix de la recrue de l'année en hockey féminin U-Sport 2024 des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Ireland McCloskey, St. Francis Xavier University, Université Saint-Francis Xavier, du Réseau du sport étudiant du Québec from the RCQ, Gabrielle Santerre, Université Bishops University, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Abby Lunny, Nipissing University, Université de Nipissing, et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Jalen Morris, University of British Columbia, Université de la Colombie-Britannique. La lauréate du prix recrue de l'année en hockey féminin U-Sport est the winner of the U-Sports Rookie of the Year in women's hockey is Gabrielle Santerre, Université Bishops University. Here are the nominees for the 2024 Fox Sporty U Sports Women's Hockey Coach of the Year Award. Voici les candidats pour le prix de l'entraîneur de l'année Fox Sporty U Sport. Des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique, from the AUS, Chris Larade, Université St. Mary's University. Du réseau du sport étudiant du Québec, from the RSEQ, Julie Chu, Université Concordia University. Du sport universitaire de l'Ontario, from the OUA, Katie Mora, Université de Guelph, University of Guelph. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne, from Canada West, Scott Rivet, Université Mount Royal University. Le ou la lauréate du prix Fox Sporty en tant qu'entraîneur de l'année est, the winner of the Fox Sporty Coach of the Year Award is Julie Chu, Université Concordia University.
Merci, wow! I can't believe I won! It's crazy! Oh, that's great to hear. I just love the game and I'm just so thankful.
The exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the climate.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U Sport. Veraburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues des championnats U Sport. By Connect Energy, proud presenting partner of this U Sports Championship. Par Connect Énergie, fier partenaire de ce championnat U Sport. And by GFL, proud title partner of the 2024 GFL U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. Par GFL, fier partenaire en titre du championnat de hockey féminin U Sport 2024.
Second intermission, or pardon me, I'm getting ahead of myself. First intermission continuing, second period coming up. That's where I was going with that. Here at Merlis Belsher Place in Saskatoon. Ryan Flaherty, Rihanna Kaminsky with you as we've got one period down in this second Consolation semifinal. UBC Thunderbirds leading the UNB Reds 1-0, excuse me. I'm starting to get a little squirrely here on day 3, apparently. As we take a look at some of the highlights from that first period, of course, UBC came out really quick in the first couple minutes. Couldn't get one there, but eventually they were able to break through as Joelle Fiala gets the goal, and that's why UBC has the lead.
Yes, of course. Fantastic goal by her. Saw lots of shots by UBC 12, so really trying to test that goaltender and really put it to the UNB defense. Of course, they are such a heavy defensive team, and both teams really coming off not a lot of rest. They both played yesterday. Of course, UNB had that night game, so really quick turnaround for them. And again, quick turnaround too for UBC. They were put through the paces by their coach after their loss yesterday, allegedly, we heard. But good to see them back, and really they came out hot today. Very, very hot they did.
Yeah, that was a question before this game at any time. Like, you talk about coming back after a really disappointing, bitter loss like that for both of these teams. What are you going to see from them in the Consolation side? And you talk about coming back after a quick turnaround as well. Physically, I'm curious what you think is tougher after a loss like that. The fact you have to play the next day, is it tougher to come back physically or mentally? Like, what's the bigger, you think, turnaround that these teams needed to make to come out here today?
That is so tough. I mean, they were both top seeds. I mean, number 2 and number 3. So that's really gonna hit your confidence mentally, right? UBC was talking a big game, all season about getting to the finals. Maybe finally being able to be a bride instead of a bridesmaid and making it to that gold medal. But unfortunately, they are on the Consolation side. So I think just mentally making sure that you have that confidence coming in, that you still have a chance to end your season on a high note instead of it being a loss. So one of these teams, unfortunately, is going to go home after a pair of losses, but one of them is going to have a chance to play Saskatchewan tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's interesting. Always in the moment, it's sometimes so hard to kind of zoom out and think about, your season as a whole and how much you were able to accomplish when you're thinking about that one loss that cost you a chance at the championship. And really, I mean, UBC has, and both these teams, in fact, have so much to be really proud of in the way they played all season long. So they're really good to see them both coming out here and really delivering the type of effort and intensity that you hope to see in a Consolation semifinal. They clearly both really do have a desire to play in that 5th place game tomorrow.
We are really seeing it. Of course, UNB played a little bit more passively last night, but they are able to rise to the style of play that UBC has. They're a really physical team, and we're seeing UNB play that type of hockey, which is so exciting.
UBC, of course, we talked a lot about their time spent in the box yesterday, and it looked like we might be in for that again with the early penalty here, but that was it. After that, they just took the one penalty. They killed it off, and so already that's 2 fewer than they had in the first period against Montreal, so an improvement in that regard, and of course, they already have their first lead. UNB, meanwhile, of course, offense has been a little hard to come by for them in the last few games. But before we talk a little bit more about them, let's remind you that there's another national championship going on. Of course, CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. The best U Sports men's volleyball teams battle for the 2024 U Sports men's volleyball crown from Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. Appropriately, a crown on the line at Queen's. Catch the action exclusively on CBC Gem, cbcsports.ca, the CBC Sports app, and CBC Sports YouTube. U Sports on CBC. Chase the glory. So that is just one of several national championships going on this weekend. Busy time for all the U Sports folks all over the country, trying to make sure these events run smoothly and all the teams participating in them. It's a really fun time of year for a fan of university sport.
If you're a fan, it's fantastic. If you are part of the university staff that is hosting, I'm sure you're tired and just dying for some sleep already, but the end is near.
Yeah, hats off to the Huskies athletics. Of course, everyone from the University of Saskatchewan has helped to put on this event. It's not just USAT, of course, they're the hosts and they do a lot of the heavy lifting, but the whole GFL 2024 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy Organizing Committee, of course, the chair, EJ Babby, everyone involved, tons of volunteers. Sask Sport, of course, playing a significant role as well. It takes a lot of people to put on an event like this. It is not an easy endeavor, but they've certainly made it feel like it's run very smoothly here this week. We hope that you've got that sense as well watching along, but great showcase for this rink too. We're so proud of it here in Saskatoon. It's been really cool to see these crowds out at Merlis Belsher Place this weekend.
It's been so fantastic. You know, we have fans who have come in from coast to coast to check it out. Of course, all the way from BC, we've got fans. We've got fans all the way on the East Coast. Of course, we're playing end to end of the country right now with UNB and UBC, if we're going to look at it on a map. So everybody's flying in to check this out. I believe this is the first time Saskatoon has hosted this.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the women's hockey championship, first time hosting here. And of course, when this arena opened in 2018, that was the thought, you know, behind getting this facility built and open was a chance to host events like these. Of course, the Huskies have hosted other national championships in other sports, and they've hosted men's U Cups as well, but those were played at the big rink here in Saskatoon across town, which is a huge barn. This is just perfectly suited for an event of this type.
Yes, and we've seen it so far this weekend filled out a couple times. We've got a pretty solid showing today. You can see quite a few UNB fans filling up a couple sections, UBC fans filling up a couple sections as well, all those different colors up behind the benches there. It's just fantastic to see so many people coming out to our little city of Saskatoon.
Yeah, already hosted a couple of Grand Slam curling events here as well. Let's get back to talk about UNB briefly just before the teams get back in here on the ice. What do you think they need to do to find a goal here and get back level and try to push their way forward in this game?
Of course, more shots. They're only sitting at 7 right now is going to be fantastic. And just overall spending more time in that offensive zone is going to be huge for them.
Yeah, Thunderbirds seem to have done a good job keeping the front of the net clean.
Yes, they have done a fantastic job with that. So, you know, if UNB can get in, kind of exploit that a little bit, get the shot on net, make sure somebody's coming in there for that rebound, maybe they'll be able to pick something up and put it in behind Hugans there.
A reminder that there are 2 semifinals coming up after this game is concluded, and of course those are the games that will determine who gets to play for the Golden Path Trophy tomorrow night. Don't forget the gold medal game is at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific tomorrow as we take a look at our tournament bracket. So there you can see the other the semifinals coming up tonight. The first one will pit the Concordia Stingers, the #1 ranked team, the #1 seed here against the OUA champion Waterloo Warriors. And in the other semifinal, we will see a couple of Quebec and Ontario teams as well as Montreal takes on Toronto. So a lot of fun coming up tonight. Those teams will be hungry for the hardware. And of course, the teams that fall short in those semis tonight will still get a chance to play for a medal tomorrow in that bronze medal game. So lots still to be determined here in Saskatoon. The teams are back out on the ice. We're just about set for second period action. Thanks for sticking with us here all week. As it's been we talk about everyone putting this event on. It's a small army of folks just to get these broadcasts out to you as well. So great job by everyone involved in that. We get the easy job. We just get to talk, and I like to say that's my only marketable skill. So glad to have you with us here, and hope you've been enjoying the action. We've had a lot of great games, a lot of close games. Haven't done any overtime games yet. I know tournament organizers don't want to see any of that today with the tight schedule, as I don't speak it into existence. But nevertheless, despite that lack of extra hockey, bonus hockey, there's been really close games. Pretty much every game has been hanging in the balance going to the third period so far this week. And so this one so far seems to be no different.
Yep, nice close score. Anything can happen, and both these teams hungry to play that third game tomorrow.
They've switched sides, and we are underway here in the second. Ryan Flaherty, Rihanna Kaminsky with you as you're watching the GFL 2024 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship presented by Connect Energy on CBC. The Reds look to move it out. Nearly held in at the line by McKinnon, but it bounces out to center. Fiala, the goal scorer for UBC, tracking back. Gets it off the blade of Elliott. Carter with the clear. Battle for it right in front of the timekeeper's bench. Long digging for it. Lifts the stick of George, but the Reds able to play it down to the UBC line. Misha Miswagon banking it off the wall to McKinnon. Quickly fires it ahead to Elliott, but she fans on the pass attempt, and Georgia Nystrom takes it away. Up ahead, off the stick of Strome, who now tracks it down in the corner, but leaned on there by Miswagon. A couple of big bodies coming together down below the goal line. Elliott can't get out clean as Nystrom was in there mucking it up, but now the Thunderbirds move it ahead, and Elliott sends it in deep before making her way to the UBC bench. Just underway here in the second period. Thunderbirds with a 1-0 lead as Kaylee Pepler, the Saskatoon native, comes back in her own zone. Up ahead, tipped by Rhodes, so no icing, and wouldn't have been anyways as Fleming gets to the puck first, taken down, and the hustle by Jacqueline Fleming drawing a call as the Thunderbirds will go to the power play.
Something they didn't have too many of yesterday. UNB did not spend a lot of time in the box, so really, again, going to have to heavily lean on that defensive style of play they like.
There's a tripping call on Mackenzie Keenan, so the Thunderbirds go to their second power play of the game. I haven't mentioned our officials yet this afternoon. The referees are Marie Couture, Adrienne Girard, and the lineswomen Stephanie Gagnon and Ali Barris. Get them their credit as well. They're working just as hard as everyone else is this weekend.
Skating up and down the ice. No
Gaskell across. Bassey with a one-timer. That deflects wide. And yeah, great job early. I haven't heard any kind of complaints about the officiating this week, as it should be at this level. They got the best of the best for this tournament. McKinnon with a shot, and that just missed the target. Power play here for UBC, 30 seconds gone. Bassey behind the net, trying to decide which way to go with it, and then finds the opening. Coming out, Elliott, biding her time now, dropping it off to Wong. Across Bassey, who takes it now in the slot. Shanry Bassey scores! A sizzling wrister from the slot, a power play goal for UBC, and it's 2-0 Thunderbirds.
Looking at that beautiful power play, Bassey just finds her way up and towards that dot to the glove side of Woodland and finds nothing but net back there.
Shanry Bassey with her first goal and second point of the tournament. The goal scored just past the 2-minute mark of the second period. A power play marker. The Thunderbirds now 2 for 4 in that department this week, as that shot is deflected high up and out of play. In fact, I think that cleared the netting at the end of the ice. That doesn't happen every day. I see Huskies assistant coach Brian McGregor down there trying to find it in the curtains. So big goal by Bassey, who was one of the most consistent point producers for UBC. 28 points this season, 28 points last season, top 5 in conference scoring each of those years. She's been a significant piece of the pick puzzle here this afternoon.
Gaskell picking up the assist there, and of course she went down pretty hard into the boards, went off the ice into the tunnel. Nice to see her coming back, and clearly not worse for wear.
Here's a chance and another rebound, stopped by Woodland. Ashton Thorpe with a blaze of speed and 2 shots, but Woodland stops them both.
Well, why not pick up your own rebound like that? You can see right there, just so much tenacity, so much speed out of Thorpe.
Thunderbirds really starting to crank it up here as they are now out shooting UNB 14-7, and they have a 2-0 lead. LaPlante at the line. The team skating 5-on-5 here. But this looks like a Thunderbird power play. Shot, tip, right on. It's in the blue paint, and Woodland somehow finding that in the traffic.
I mean, she's had a pair of goals go in on her, but you see saves like that, opportunities that Thunderbirds are having. This is why she is such a highly touted goaltender.
Yeah. Let's just rattle off just a couple of her accomplishments. U Sports and AUS Player of the Year 2023. First Team AUS All-Star 2019, 2022, 2023. Second Team All-Star 2020. Rookie of the Year in the AUS and U Sports in 2019. And, oh, by the way, a Team Canada FISU gold medalist last January alongside Huskies goaltender Cameron Drever. That was the tandem for Team Canada at that event. So just a few.
Just a couple things.
Stars on the chart there for Kendra Woodland. Kordic steaming back into the UNB zone, tripped up on the play, and the Thunderbirds are going to be going right back to the power play here. This is not the situation that UNB wants to be in right now.
You see Carter, I think she drew that penalty, and right away she looks over at the ref and makes a diving motion, trying to say that it was a dive there, but you're going to get called on that type of a trip every single time.
Not going to win that argument, you're telling me.
No.
Second infraction of the day for Carter. And the Thunderbirds, who just scored a couple of minutes ago on their last power play, will get another opportunity here. Their third advantage of the game. They get control off the draw. McKinnon in the corner. Back the line for Wong. Really interesting to see where McKinnon sets up on this power play as a defender. You don't often see them down along that half wall position, but her skills are such that she can play like a forward. And UBC prides himself on offense coming from all spots on the ice and all players on the ice.
Pretty much every player on their roster able to put up a point or a goal this season, so it's nice that they can rely on so many players.
Wong well covered, fires it across. Bassey there, spins away from Hargraves and gets it back to Gaskell. Across to Wong, through, down low, Bassey fumbled that opportunity, but it comes back. Gaskell a shot, that glances off a body and over the net. Bassey just kind of couldn't quite pull the trigger on that chance. The puck was in tight, and now she gets it again in front. A shot stopped by Woodland. As the Thunderbirds got the setup they were looking for, but Elliott denied in front.
Beautiful again. That's just why you've seen Kendra Woodland wear that maple leaf. When she's making saves like that, making plays that way, so quick, great eyes, and just sucks it into her midsection.
Kamloops BC product, knowing that she needs to hold the fort here to give her team a chance to get back in this game. This is a big sequence here on this power play. A 2-goal lead versus a potential 3-goal lead. That's a big swing for a UNB team that only scored once in yesterday's game. A minute still left here in the power play. Held in at the line by Morris. Here's a wrist shot from McCallum. That stays out, comes back to the boards. Rhodes sweeps it back in deep. Kordic coming out from behind the goal, turns and fires, and that just sailed wide. And now Thorpe blows a tire along the boards. Good to see her pop right back up. Those could be awkward. Rhodes now down the wall, turning back towards the line, but well defended on the play as Oideman gets that puck down the ice. Here comes Mackenzie McCallum, fifth-year eligibility, first year with the Thunderbirds. Throws it right out front and through everyone. Comes to the line, McKinnon can't hold it in, and here comes Hargraves the other way. Peyton Hargraves, a shot kicked out by Hugans. Good low bid there by the Reds captain, testing the Thunderbirds goaltender for the first time here in the second period. Kordic with a shot. That's turned aside by Woodland. As the action heats up here in the second. Penalties over. They're back to 5-on-5. So the Thunderbirds now 1 for 3 on the day. And they continue to lead it 2-0 with 6 minutes gone in the second. Lauren O'Neill hustling back, tied up by Perrier. And the Thunderbirds get the puck back. Baird drops it down into the corner for Fleming, throws it in front. And Baird with a shot, that's blocked. Another chance, Perrier kicked out by Woodland. Oh, she shot out the left leg and took one away from Mia Baird right there. Hannah Perrier, pardon me, on the rebound.
There's a little flurry of shots in action for her.
Back down behind the UNB net. Brokenshire plays it up the wall. Tipped ahead, bouncing around there at center. Hard to settle it down. Elliott manages to do that. LaPlante across. Now Sierra LaPlante will lead the rush. Across the UNB line, down to the corner, shot right through. Awful UNB player, bounced there dangerously, but cleared away. Steaming the other way, Riley Strome, taking it all the way down to the corner, throws it right out through the crease and all the way out to the other side. That's Jackson, pardon me, 19 in red for UNB, who had that chance. Now Kaylee Jackson heads to the bench, and the Thunderbirds come back the other way. Wong trying to connect with Elliott, but that pass was too hot to handle. And it's sent down the ice by UNB. Will this have enough? It will. Icing is the call. 12:30 to play here in the second.
First chance to catch their breath, get a little bit of a change for UBC, regroup themselves, and again, back into the defending end of UNB. You can see nice little flurry, beautiful saves by Woodlawn through that play a little earlier in the second.
There's a number to, I'll get to that in a moment here, as the Thunderbirds look to get something going. Fiala plays it back to the line. Jalen Morris down the wall. Fiala swiping at it there. And Wong comes in to play it back to the line. Gaskell changes the angle, gets a shot through. That bounces wide. Wong picks up the loose puck behind the net. And back up top for Morris. Over to Sophia Gaskell. Shot through. That got to the net. Stopped by Woodland. That was a great screen there, and Woodland reacted late, but well positioned to make the stop. I was going to say, you talk about the difference between the 2-goal deficit versus 3 for UNB. They have gone 5 straight games without scoring more than 2 goals. So that just highlights the necessity for them to keep this at 2 right now and have to go back to game 2 of the AUS semifinal against St. Mary's. They win 1-3-0, but since then, no more than 2 goals in a game. So they need to keep it right here.
Ideally, their defense is going to do just that.
A little surprising, though, because actually throughout the season, they scored actually quite a lot. In fact, averaging nearly 3.3 goals per game this year, as we've got a whistle and a little bit of ill tempers there. Mackenzie Kordick, very demonstrative as she separates herself from the pack. And she might be getting something here, but no, she goes to the bench. So cooler heads will prevail. And I think that's a good job by the official there to not call it, but Kordick was close there to getting into some hot water with the officials. As we might see it here actually on the replay. After the whistle, she took a little shove from Hargraves, had something to say, and there's the shrug off. If it was any more physical there, you might see her in the box right now.
She must have kept her mouth shut.
Yeah. So Thunderbirds might have dodged one there. Some frustration showing there for Mackenzie Kordick. A little surprising too in a 2-0 lead, but you know, hockey gets intense sometimes.
It gets very passionate, that's for sure. It can be an emotional game in all sets of the emotions.
So we continue on 5-on-5 here. 9 minutes gone by in the second period. Thunderbirds leading it 2-0. Goals by Shanri Bassi. Joelle Fiala. Right back down behind the UBC net. McKinnon neatly gets it past Scott up to the UBC line, and now there's Jacqueline Fleming with it, but got caught up with one of the lineswomen. Couldn't get away as quickly as she wanted to, but now heads off at the end of her shift, and Rhodes speeds over to the corner in pursuit. LaPlante holds it in at the line. Her play to the corner goes off a Red's body and bounces out. Now LaPlante will fire it right back in. Woodland keeping the play alive as she drops the puck to Lindsay Smith. George trying to get it up ahead and connect with Scott, but she was at the end of her shift. And now back comes Mackenzie McCallum, stopping at the half wall, drop pass, shot, that zip just wide, off the stick of Mia Baird. Played to the line, but not out, held in there by Kaylee Pepler. Waiting for a return pass, but it doesn't arrive. Instead, played in deep for Ashton Thorpe. Had a couple of great chances here earlier in this second period. As the puck tied up down in the corner in the UBC zone. Reds having to spend a lot of time defending here in the second period. And now finally they get it out and maybe a chance here on the break. Nice move to the inside, but the puck drifting away from Marissa Valla there, and she never really had full control. And it's lobbed back out to center, knocked down there by Elliott. settling it down across the slot. A shot right through, just too deep as Woodland was down and out. Or Fiala just couldn't get to the puck in time. Here's a shot partially fanned on, but still skipping around in front of the net and now cleared to the wall. Fiala leaves it down there for Wong across the top. Wrist shot, Morris, blocker save by Woodland. And a rebound cleared to the end boards. Relentless pressure here from UBC. Gaskell a shot, tipped right on a save by Woodland. Morris now stepping up. Back to Gaskell at the line. Shot, scores! Felt like it was only a matter of time as the pressure pays off. 3-0 Thunderbirds.
From the point, Gaskell gets that pass. Those offer stick almost looks like it was tipped potentially off a Reds player, but finding the back of the net.
From the training room onto the score sheet, Gaskell rising from the dead to score here in the second. I'm being a little overdramatic, obviously, but didn't look good when she left the ice there late in the first period. As someone who has had multiple shoulder dislocations, I was feeling that. But clearly she's okay. That shot finding the back of the net, and there's that big third goal for UBC with 8.5 minutes to go in the second. Shots are now 20-8 UBC, and the Reds with a chance to catch their breath here as we will take a break here. But before we go, CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the gold medal game of the 2024 University Cup tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific on CBC Gems, CBCSports.ca, and the CBC Sports app. UB Sports on CBC, chase the glory.
L'échange était incroyable. Vous avez le pouvoir de provoquer le changement au sein de notre climat.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the gold medal game of the 2024 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific from McMaster University in Hamilton. All of the action for U Sports Women's Volleyball Gold is exclusively on CBC Gems, CBCSports.ca, and the CBC Sports app. U Sports on CBC, chase the glory. Back underway here in the second period, just over 8 minutes remaining. Thunderbirds with a 3-0 lead, and they have credited Shanry Bassi with the third goal. So if that holds, that will be her second of the game. The initial shot, of course, from Gaskell. So she'll get an assist. That's 2 assists for Gaskell on the day. And 2 goals for Shanry Bassi as the UNB Reds whistled for offside. And UNB needs to find some kind of offensive footing here, Brianna, as they have just 1 shot on goal here in the second period.
Yeah, not looking so good for them. Of course, heavy, again, I've said it before, heavy defensive team. They're blocking shots like crazy, but they need to be playing more offensively, putting something in the back of the net, figuring out how to solve Elise Huggins, just something, get themselves a goal, get them on the board at least in this period.
Glad you mentioned Huggins, because I think in all the offensive firepower of UBC and everything they've done at the other end of the ice this season, I think her play and performance sometimes gets a little lost in the shuffle. She's been outstanding this season.
She is such a fantastic goaltender, and you're right, it does get a little bit lost because they are such a powerhouse of an offensive team.
Back down deep in UBC territory, played around. Pepler trying to catch up to it, does pitchfork it forward. And here come a pair of Thunderbirds. Spin move at the line by Bassey. That was slick. Rhodes with a shot. Shouldered off by Woodland.
Now Bassey, of course, had that tip on that last goal, so she is going to be potentially looking for a hat trick here this afternoon.
Could we see our second of the tournament? We've already had one. That was in the first game. Of course, Tatum James for the Waterloo Warriors, and now Bassey on hat trick watch.
We can say that, right? It doesn't jinx it, does it?
I don't know. You're only the apparently the expert on shutout jinxes. I said it before, I'll say it again. There's no such thing as a broadcaster jinx. In hockey, at least. Basketball, you're right next to the floor, so maybe we could call it that. I always said, they can't hear me up here, so. Back goes UNB back in their own zone once again, and the clearance is cut off by McKinnon. Shot from the line, blockered away by Woodland, and banked high off the glass, but once again, there's Ryland McKinnon. Oh, tower of power on the back end for UBC. Now cleared out, but it's a solo rush here as Drost tries to get a backhand through, but Gaskell was all over her, and now Sophia Gaskell leads the counterattack. Slap shot stopped by Woodland, and no rebound after the glove save.
Gaskell on watch to get her own goal this afternoon. Fantastic shot by her, but still looking to find the back of the net for herself. 2 assists so far in this game, though, for her.
This is looking a lot more like the UBC team we expected to see yesterday against Montreal. As they obviously don't want to go home feeling like they didn't give their best in the potential final game of their season. And right now, it looks like they're in the driver's seat to play one more. But still, 6 minutes left in this period and a whole third still to come. UNB, though, needs something good to happen at this end of the ice before too long, as Fiala bats that one down and out. Lily George now turning and bringing it right back in. Drop pass for Scott. Caitlin Scott, shot stopped by Huggins. And a little bit more of a gathering develops after that whistle.
Looks like it was Hepler, and not quite sure who.
Scott, I think, in the middle of that for UNB.
Yeah. Exchanging words, exchanging little bits of shoves.
Scott not backing down there from Kaylee Pepler, despite giving up about 6 inches in height.
5'3" is Scott.
Big heart, clearly. Oh. As UBC gets the face-off win, Miss Wagon ahead, tipped through the legs by Thorpe, down to the UNB line. Back for it, circling is Mackenzie Keenan, first team All-Canadian this year, and great bloodlines for Mackenzie Keenan too. We'll get back to that if we have a chance. McCallum with a shot, blockered away by Woodland. She has been a busy bee here in the second. Under siege from UBC, out shooting UNB in this period by a 10-2 margin, 22-9 overall now.
Online live scoring here is actually saying 29 shots for UBC.
That feels more accurate to me, to be honest.
Yep.
It seems like they've had more than 10 in the 15 minutes so far. I'm reading off the scoreboard, but yeah, sometimes it takes a little while for the scoreboard to catch up to the actual stats. As the puck tied up along the boards. And now Robin Brokenshire will circle back behind her own net and reset for UNB. Through center, but first player there was Kordick. Kicks it over to the wall, and now the Reds are able to get it in deep with 4.5 to go here in the second. McKinnon sweeps it around, but Strome cut that off. And Nystrom circling. Georgia Nystrom can't get away for a shot. Takes it down to the far corner. Now exchanging with Strome. She'll cycle it low, but there was nobody there. A little miscommunication possibly there from UNB, as they were also looking to make a change. Puck cleared out, fired in from neutral territory. Huggins doesn't want to take a face-off in her own zone, so she plays it to McKinnon. Ryland McKinnon, another one of these fifth-year players for UBC. All kinds of veteran presence on the Thunderbirds roster. As the clearance goes off the back of Lauren Carter, but does trickle out to center. Kordick will flip a backhand in deep, and now she takes a direct line across the ice to the UBC bench. Banked out to center ice, but no connection on that pass. And Gaskell has it once again. Right wing feed, little toe drag. Bassey trying to cut inside. She's met by a trio of Reds defenders. Around to the near side, LaPlante just rolls it back in deep for Bassey. Stripped of the puck by Carter, but following up is Cassidy Rhodes to the point. Now across to LaPlante. There's a shot. That didn't get to the net. Too many bodies in the lane that time. LaPlante sweeps it back into the corner now, and again, another lengthy shift in the O-zone here for UBC. 3 minutes now remaining in the second as finally UNB clears it out. And with a 3-goal lead, it's the time that's just as much of a factor for UBC, able to just eat it up at the other end of the ice. Rhodes into the middle for Bassey. She can't get the shot away as Woodland covers up.
Good play by Woodland, getting right on top of that puck, able to get her teammates a little bit of a change. You can see her kind of give her head a bit of a shake, little nods to her players.
So the face-off to the left of Kendra Woodland. And a bit of a scramble off the draw, but UBC looks to have control. Good secondary effort, though, from the Reds to get it out, and now they get all the way on the rush. Here's Scott coming in, cut to the middle, a shot that never reached the net, now thrown to the goal and kicked out. Scott in front, awful leg, and alertly patted away by Huggins. That could have been trouble for UBC, but Huggins calm, cool, and collected in that Thunderbirds net. Scott pinned to the wall. Hargraves able to clear the zone. Now George there, laying it up ahead for Mackenzie Keenan. The shot off a stick and into the corner. Fiala going back for UBC. Riley Strome just onto the ice in hot pursuit, but spun off McKinnon. McKinnon now pressured by Strome, and they take it away. There's a player in front, but they can't get the pass through in time. Boydeman was looking there for it. UNB's top playoff goal scorer, but just a little late on the uptake that time. 90 seconds to go here in the period. As the puck winds up in the corner, thrown towards the slot, but carried away there. Elliott plays it back down to the corner, and McKinnon gets it over to Misswagon. We'll try the other side, and that works. Annalise Wong gets it out to center. Best offensive shift probably of the period here for UNB coming in the late stages. We'll see if they can build off that. Trailing by 3, Strome down into the corner. 2-on-2 wall battle there as it pops loose into the slot, but a diving swat by Ryland McKinnon selling out to clear the puck. She doesn't look fully healthy after that, but a UNB player really struggling to get back up, and it looks like maybe the puck or a stick caught her up in the throat area. Is that George down there? It's hard to see the number on the jersey, and that's an offside.
Oh, that's a Drost.
Pardon me, 11 Drost, and you're just looking at where she was, looked like she had her hand up right around her, clavicle area there, and I'm just wondering if some stick blade or a puck came up and caught her in the throat.
That or her shoulder.
Yeah, so she is headed off. Not all the way down, though. She gets worked on just behind the UNB bench. Meanwhile, 40 seconds left in the period. Can the Reds get one here before the end of the frame? Certainly would like to do that. We saw that in our first Consolation semifinal, a late last-minute goal in the second to change the complexion of that game. Well, the Huskies were able to still hang on and prevail in the third against St. FX.
Definitely seeing a lot more fire out of these Reds in the last couple minutes here offensively.
Master got a shot through there on Huggins, who made the routine stop. McCallum off the wall. Baird is there just to slow that down the ice, and that will drain the remaining time off the clock as UNB will just take it in behind the net as the horn sounds to signal the end of the second period. A dominant period for the UBC Thunderbirds, who outshoot the Reds 17-4 and score twice to add to their lead. They now lead it 3-0 after 2 periods of play. Just a quick thought on that second period. Brianna.
Fantastic work, of course, by UBC. They had so much momentum going their way offensively. And just that little last few minutes, Reds were able to kind of step it up and play at that level. So hopefully we see a little bit more from them offensively in the third period.
Second intermission coming up. You're watching U Sports Women's Hockey on CBC.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite. Of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais. Quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second. Chase the glory. Visez haut.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
The exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the climate.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Second intermission here at Merlis Belsher Place as the UBC Thunderbirds lead the UNB Reds 3-0 in this Consolation semifinal. Every year, U Sports presents a series of major honors to the top student athletes in each sport. Here are the 2024 U Sports Hockey Community Service Award nominees and winners of the 2024 U Sports Player of the Year Awards.
The nominees for the Marion Hillard Award to the student who excels in hockey, academics, and community involvement are les candidats pour le prix Marion Hillard pour l'excellence dans le hockey, les études et l'engagement communautaire sont des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Shaylin McFarlane, University of Prince Edward Island, Université de l'Île du Prince-Édouard, du Réseau du sport étudiant du Québec from the RSEQ, Emmy Fecto, Université Concordia University, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Emily Baxter, Toronto Metropolitan University, Université métropolitaine de Toronto, et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne from Canada West, Jenna Merck, University of Regina, Université de Regina. La lauréate du prix Marion Hillard pour l'engagement communautaire est, the winner of the Marion Hillard Award for Community Service is, Emmy Fecto, Université Concordia University. The nominees for the Broderick Trophy as the U Sports Outstanding Women's Hockey Player of the Year are En nomination pour le trophée Broderick comme athlète de l'année U-Sport en hockey féminin, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique, from the AUS, Lillian George, University of New Brunswick, Université de la Nouveau-Brunswick. Du réseau du sport étudiant du Québec, from the RCQ, Gabrielle Santerre, Université Bishop's University. Du sport universitaire de l'Ontario, from the OUA, Katie Chomiak, Nipissing University, Université de Nipissing. Et de l'association West Canadienne, from Canada West, Cameron Drever, University of Saskatchewan, Université de la Saskatchewan. La lauréate du trophée Broderick décerné à la joueuse de l'année en hockey féminin U-Sport est the winner of the Broderick Trophy as the U-Sports Player of the Year in women's hockey is Gabrielle Santerre, Université Bishop's University.
FNPA and Indigenous communities are working together to develop a cleaner energy workforce, which is crucial to achieving a net zero energy future by 2050. Meaningful Indigenous engagement and consultation are essential for this goal to be realized. The vision is to pursue energy sovereignty by expanding wind, solar, energy storage, and new nuclear technologies across Canada. Collaboration and collective efforts are necessary to decarbonize our economy, particularly in regions such as Alberta and Saskatchewan. Become a valued general or industry member and join us in this important work today. FNPA, the pathway to powerful opportunities.
We've got 50 years of winning behind us. That means a lot of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 groups supported. Winning numbers like 6 million given away annually in community grants. Winning numbers like 196 athletes sent to Olympic and Paralympic Games. And the winningest number of all, the $1.4 billion given back through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started.
Can you tell us your experience with online bullying?
When I was younger, the girls started to pick on me. I felt really alone because I just had no one to talk to.
We have a little surprise for you.
I've always been drawn to Narissa for her calm, cool energy.
She's kind, she's compassionate. I hope that one day I can be half the woman that Narissa is today.
That's really meaningful to me.
Your words have impact. Be kind online.
At Viterra, we believe in the power of connection. Our world-leading agriculture network connects producers and consumers to supply top-quality food ingredients each and every day. Our team takes great pride in working closely with farmers to help feed the world. It's something we've been doing for over 100 years. And as an industry leader, we're dedicated to playing a critical role in meeting the needs of a growing world. Because together, we're stronger and achieve more.
Parce que le sport, c'est bien plus que des résultats.
C'est aussi des analyses et des dossiers qui nous plongent au cœur d'un univers complexe et en mutation.
C'est vraiment incroyable.
Suivez les actualités sportives sur radiocanada.ca et sur l'appli Info.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U Sport. Veraburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues des championnats U Sport. By Connect Energy, proud presenting partner of this U Sports Championship. Par Connect Énergie, fier partenaire de ce championnat U Sport. And by GFL, proud title partner of the 2024 GFL U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. Par GFL, fier partenaire en titre du championnat de hockey féminin U Sport 2024.
So some great achievements by a lot of those players throughout the season. And we continue here in the second intermission at Merlis Belsher Place. UBC Thunderbirds leading the UNB Reds by a score of 3-0. And wow, what a second period for UBC. Rihanna, that was much more like the Thunderbirds team that I think we all thought we were going to see here this week.
That was definitely
get to see some highlights.
The team that we saw all season for sure, playing in Can West hockey, and a couple goals.
There is the opener. That was Sophia Gaskell getting it going in the first period. Ashton Thorpe with a good look. This is still this is all actually from the second period, pardon me. Fiala got the scoring started in the first, but this was, I was getting a bit of a neck cramp because I was just turned to the left for like the whole period,
right?
Looking down at that UBC end, because UBC just kind of exerting their will. We saw Mackenzie Cordick get into a little bit after the whistle, but you know, as you take a look at the highlights, what stands out to you?
Of course, just those big goals that we had from Shanreed Bassey. She's netting both of them, fortunately. Sophia Gaskell playing fantastically. She went down hard earlier in the first period, but managed to come back out into the second and helped along both of those goals, which was fantastic. And UBC, just so many shots already, sitting at 29 as we go into the third period. We're seeing a lot of a physical play from them. UNB is stepping it up to match their intensity level. The last couple minutes of the second period, they did have more of a fire beneath them, so potentially coming out into the third, as long as they can keep that intensity going, we might have a little bit more of a hockey game here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's do or die for UNB. The season is coming to an end after this one if they can't pull out the victory here with a comeback effort in the third. I should correct myself just a moment ago. I said Sophia Gaskell scored. She has 2 assists today, as it is Shanreed Bassey who had both those goals in the second period for UBC. Of course, Gaskell with that initial shot on the third one that was tipped home by Bassey. They've also added an assist to that third goal for UBC. Jalen Morris drawing the second assist on that goal, her second point and assist of this tournament. Both of those, looking at my sheet, and I didn't have her scoring last game, but either way, it says 2, so we're going to go with that. Second assist for Morris, and of course, Jalen Morris had a really excellent season for UBC as well. Canada West Rookie of the Year, and she made the U Sports All-Rookie team. So yes, UBC in the driver's seat, but UNB still with 20 minutes to go. Now, the challenge, as I touched on earlier, is their offense. Of late, it has dried up somewhat. Now, can they somehow tap into the resources that got them 99 goals during the regular season?
They're definitely going to have to be able to do anything and make something out of this game and not just go home on that long flight back to New Brunswick, because that wouldn't be very fun, leaving with their tail between their legs and a pair of losses for UNB. One of the things they're definitely going to have to do is watch on those penalties. They were such a disciplined team yesterday, but of course spending a little bit of time in the box, and UBC was able to capitalize on one of those penalties as well, getting that power play goal by Shanreed Bassey.
Gave UNB credit for a few more extra goals, 92 goals on the season, but still an impressive total. When you can average, 3.3 a game, that's you're going to win more often than not. So we'll see if they can find that extra gear. Any players in particular, that maybe want to see a little bit more from. Lily George has had a pretty quiet day so far.
She has, and she was such a powerful player last night in the game. So maybe seeing a little bit out of her. Of course, it would be fantastic to see Vala with a little bit more finish. She's got fantastic speed out there. Such a great little player, but just a little bit more finish from her would be really fantastic.
You wonder too, coming into the third period, we talked about the quick turnaround for these teams, and of course UBC especially, having played last night. Now into the third period of this one, how much gas do they have left in the tank, and do they have enough to mount a comeback here in the third?
UNB played last night.
Pardon me, did I say UBC?
Yeah. It's so easy to mix those two up.
Oh,
all the U's and the B's.
Yes, UNB played last night. So yeah, in order to, you have to do so much work, so much harder to come back in a game, and playing for the second time in about 18 hours here. So pretty tall task for UNB, but hey, this is the national championship, and we've seen some crazy things happen over the years. So do not count them out whatsoever.
Definitely not. They're a 3-seeded team versus a 2-seeded team. Anything could happen here. There's a reason why they were both seeded so high.
And of course, it is the Saskatchewan Huskies who await the winner here of this game to face them in the 5th place game. And right now, it looks like a couple of Canada West rivals are on a collision course. And that would add a little extra layer of spice to that 5th place game that maybe you don't always get at this tournament.
Definitely. I mean, at home when UBC was here, I believe the only time they met this season, they split that pair of games. So would be quite the matchup between Saskatchewan and UBC, but let's not count out UNB just yet. We
don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
20 minutes of hockey.
Absolutely right. UNB would certainly like to have something to say about that. And if they are able to come back and win here this afternoon, that would set up a rematch of the 2022 bronze medal game, which Saskatchewan won 2-0 to get their best ever result at nationals. So there's history there. We'll see if it comes into play, but right now UNB, of course, they can't score 3 goals on 1 shot. So the old cliches loom large here in the third. 1 shift at a time, 1 shot at a time, 1 goal at a time.
1 minute at a time.
That's right. 1 day at a time. That was a show back in the day. Wasn't that with Schneider, the handyman? Dating myself again.
You're so old.
Practically decrepit, but I think it can stay upright for 1 more period here. And have a lot of fun. And of course, Daniela Ponticelli will be here for the semifinals tonight, along with you, Rihanna, as even the marathon woman here this weekend, getting in for all the games. So doing a great job, and I'll get a chance to rest my vocal cords here and get ready for the 5th place game tomorrow.
There we go.
Back underway here in the third. Glad to have you with us here at Merlis Belsher Place, as the UBC Thunderbirds look to finish this one off, but UNB with 20 minutes to change the story. Laid around to the far side and chopped out to center. UBC firing it back in, delayed offside, and now Elliott tags up. A little extra space for UNB. The touch pass onto the stick of George. Talk about her maybe having a quiet day. Let's give credit to the UBC defense as well, the job they've done on some of these skilled forwards for UNB. Sent in around behind the net, laid up ahead, and tipped out to center ice. All the way back down on the fresh sheet, and back goes Nystrom. Elliott with the size advantage down there, leaning on her in the corner, but George Nystrom able to wiggle free. Now continuing on through center, tipped ahead by Oitomen, as that is going to go down for an icing call against UNB. Just over a minute gone in the third.
And we talk about UBC being such a deep team, being able to look at so many different people to produce points and assists and goals, and it's the same way for UNB. You look at their stat sheet and pretty much everybody has either a goal or an assist, and quite a few of them. So just as deep of a team coming from out east.
Face off won by the Thunderbirds, and a shot steered away by Kendra Woodland, who has had a busy day so far, and she's been very good, but hasn't had a lot of support. That's a slap shot from the line, kicked out. Morris gathers the rebound along the wall. Across the top, another shot from Gaskell. That hit a body and wound up in the corner. Back up high for Gaskell. This is not a power play. Don't adjust your screens, but now UNB able to clear the puck down the ice and get a wholesale change as the third period starting much like the second as Rhodes tips it in deep. Going back, Lauren O'Neill. Tipped off the stick of Vala and now grabbed by Bassey. 2 goals already today for Shanreet Bassey, but couldn't control the puck that time. Vala trying to barge through and forces the puck down into the UBC zone. Up ahead for Baird, who lets it go to McCallum. Now Mackenzie McCallum getting past Vala, trying to cut in front, but left the puck behind as the defender came back to strip it away. That was O'Neill with a good defensive effort. Lauren O'Neill now forced back by McCallum, who knocks the puck off her stick. Knocked to the ice now. There's Carter in there trying to help out as well. But coming away with it, Thorpe. Played across the top of the zone. Kaylee Pepler will send it all the way back to LaPlante. Here's a wrist shot. Scores! Puck changed directions on the way to the net. Sierra LaPlante makes it 4-0 UBC.
They're just going to keep on adding to that total for themselves. LaPlante getting it up near the blue line. Did it go off a player there?
It looked like it changed directions.
Yeah.
It might have hit a defender, I think, in the slot, but
That's what I said last time, and they credited Bassey.
that's true.
So
That's true.
was she out there?
Hey, yeah. Good point. I think she was, actually. But LaPlante right now credited with the goal, and that comes just shy of the 3-minute mark here in the third as the Thunderbirds really tighten the screws on UNB. They are giving it to LaPlante as that is flipped in deep. That'll be icing against UBC. It sounds like an unassisted goal. Oh, they're going to give Pepler an assist.
Hey,
So
hometown girl.
the other local kid on the not kid, I guess they're young adults. Don't say it. Kaylee Pepler. So Joelle Fiala, of course, from just outside Saskatoon, has a goal, and now Pepler on the score sheet as well, getting an assist on that goal by Sierra LaPlante.
I'm sure they've got some fans out there in the stands, being so close to home.
Kordick trying to barge in, knocked down by Smith on the entry. Comes around the net. Brokenshire playing it ahead, and now racing ahead is Peyton Hargraves, the Reds captain, knocked off stride, and that's going to be a penalty on the Thunderbirds, and a sliver of light opens up here for UNB, a chance on the power play as Kordick heads to the box.
Yeah, Kordick just couldn't quite catch up there and makes her way to the penalty box.
Kenzie Kordick's had a bit of a burr under her saddle here today. It's been a feisty effort from the Canada West scoring leader. Now she'll have to watch from the box as the Thunderbirds go to the kill for the second time.
Chance for UNB to showcase their offensive play here.
As the Reds are set up. I mentioned it earlier, a tremendous power play this season. One of the top units in the country, but going up against a pretty stout kill here for UBC. And it's the Thunderbirds able to clear the puck down the ice, and now Woodland will have to come out and play it away from the on-rushing Fiala. Half a minute gone in the power play. And it is on the stick of Annalise Wong, who was fortunate to keep possession there, nearly stolen away at center, but she gets it in deep and now gets a bump to the ice as she was heading to the box. I'm not sure if either official saw that. The play continues. It wasn't a violent hit, but could have made a case for an interference call there, potentially. Well away from the play.
He's getting gritty out there.
Played up the boards. Lindsay Smith manning the point. Across, a shot from Carter blocked as Smith hustles across to keep it in. Down in the corner, Scott trying to make a move, but puck taken away and cleared out just past Carter at the line. Now played forward, and skating onto it is Mia Baird. All by her lonesome. A wrist shot up high, stopped. Another chance for Baird, and a save by Woodland. And Mia Baird, it's a rude welcome. The UNB crease at the whistle.
Rhodes right there to back her up. The UNB players stand pretty tall.
There's a look at the play once again. A couple of good looks for Baird, but Kendra Woodland holding firm on the post.
Fantastic job there by Baird to finish up that play and really try to get in her own rebound and rush to the net to see if maybe there was that third for her.
This off to the right of Kendra Woodland, Mackenzie McCallum against Peyton Hargraves. And it is Hargraves with the win, but with puck pressure by UBC. Looked like they had a chance to turn it over, but skated the other way by the Reds. The pass to the middle, though, broken up by McCallum, who turns and sends it down the ice. However, this will kill some more time. Of course, UBC still on the kill here for another 15 seconds. Reds just haven't really been able to get set up whatsoever on this power play. And they are just about out of time now. Hargraves across the Thunderbird line. Knocked off her stick by Morris. Fiala follows up. Played towards the net, but cleared away by Morris as the penalty's over. The Thunderbirds remain perfect on the kill here at this tournament. Now 10 for 10. Kordic out of the box trying to center it. That's cut off by Strome. Her outlet feed goes off a skate, but supported there by Oideman. And now we have another UBC penalty, and it looks like, is it Kordic? No, it's going to be Pepler this time. Kordic took a look like, what, me again? But it is Pepler going to the box, and the Reds back to the power play.
That's her second in the afternoon here. 4 minutes total for Pepler.
He's had an active game. He got an assist as well.
Yeah, just hauls that UNB player down. Can't be doing that, especially right in front of the ref.
So a little bit of a conversation here, and I think this is just about where they're going to have the face-off, or perhaps who's allowed to stay on the ice, because the puck was also iced there.
Yeah.
So who can stay on, who has to go off? Kordic was lobbying to be out there for this draw, but much to her chagrin, she was dismissed from the proceedings. So the face-off to the right, Elise Huggins. Scrambled in a bunch of skates, and the Reds get to it. Smith cross for Carter, wheels it into the corner. It's an interference call on Katie Pepler. We're just past the 6-minute mark of the third, and the Reds really need a goal now. See if they can make a little more hay on this power play than the last one. Sent back to the line. Across a one-timer, Strome, or pardon me, yes, that was Strome with the shot, kicked out by Huggins. She made sure to put that out of play.
UBC playing some fairly aggressive defense here, really putting the pressure on the Reds to get their passes really tight, really tape to tape, not giving them too much room.
25 power play goals during the regular season for UNB. We dearly love to get one here. Lily George, can she find some magic here in the third? Firing it all the way across, picked up there by Caitlin Scott. Another top weapon held silent so far today. There's a shot up high, fought off by Huggins. And the initial clearance was cut off, but the second effort gets the puck down the ice. 7 minutes gone in the third. 1 minute remaining in the UNB power play. George forced to turn back by Jacqueline Fleming. Now Hargraves quickly sends it across the ice, looking for the return pass, and she gets it, bringing it back into the UBC zone. Trying to play it back to George at the line, but Baird was in the middle, and now Baird knocks George down, and the Thunderbirds clear the zone. 35 seconds left in the 5-on-4 advantage. Oideman takes it into the UBC territory, plays it around the net. LaPlante over there for the Thunderbirds, but held it at the point and sent to the corner. Now coming out with it, a shot tipped right on, stopped by Huggins. Thorpe gives her check a rough ride into the end boards, and the T-Birds get it out once more with just 10 seconds left in the power play. Strome tipping it back in, but McCallum gets in front of her, swept back around and sent down towards the UNB line. Pepler out of the box, and that Thunderbirds kill stays unblemished here in the tournament. Chances going by the wayside here in the third for UNB. Back to the line, a slap shot knocked down by Huggins and sent to the far wall. Laid down deep, Strome is there, but can't control the puck, and Fiala speeds the other way. Joel Fiala got the scoring started back in the first, and now looking to fire it in front, but the backhand feed goes behind the net instead. Elliott tracking it down along the wall. 3 Reds over trying to take it away, but she gets it to Gaskell. Across, a shot up high, just missed the net. And the rebound scooped and sent ahead. Reiner playing it into the left wing corner. Morris a step ahead of her, leaves it for Gaskell. And now ahead to Joel Fiala, cleanly out of the zone. Up ahead onto the tape of Elliott, a backhand. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot. I think she wasn't sure either as it went in between Bassi and the net. Reimer will clear it out, but right to the stick of Kanisha Miswagon. McKinnon's dump in taken away, but there is Weeb nearly stealing it for UBC, getting a rare shift out there. Fourth line getting some ice time in the third, or at least the 2/3 of it. We haven't seen much of Perrier and Weeb today. We have seen lots of Kordick, who got dropped down to that fourth line here this afternoon, but the other 2/3 of that unit haven't seen as much of the ice for UBC. Graham Thomas managing his bench here, and of course thinking about the potential of having to play again tomorrow, as there's a jam play at the side of the goal and covered up by Woodland.
Couple quick shots by Kordick as she tries to get her name up on the score sheet in the goal column there.
That might be a little bit of the source of her frustration too, is playing on the fourth line today.
It could be.
So she didn't have the type of showing you would have expected yesterday, but neither did most of the Thunderbirds. So
none of them did.
Either way, they certainly looked a lot sharper here today. Now Lily George speeding down the wing, a wrist shot sails across the front of the goal and rattles all the way out to center.
That's the Lily George we've been looking for all game.
Just out across the UBC line. Hargraves looking to get it back to George, but a UBC stick changes those plans, and now Hargraves lost it but went right to George. Hargraves could only push it forward, and once again cleared to center. Past the midway mark here in the third. UBC comfortably in front 4-0 as they have their sights set on a date with the Saskatchewan Huskies tomorrow morning. That game will go at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, by the way, the 5th place game here for Merlis Belsher Place. Bronze medal at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, and then the gold medal game at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. And tonight's semifinals will determine who plays in those last 2 games. Thorpe cutting in, lost the puck as it's cleared to the boards. Continuous action here in the third. Once again, a long stretch without whistles. As carrying it on forward, Riley Strome trying to dance her way through Gaskell. That is no easy task. It's the puck back, though, coming back out front. Strome knocked off her stick to the line. A slap shot blocked by Mia Baird, and out with it comes McCallum. Kenzie Callum gets to the UNB line, disrupted there, but following up is Baird. Thought about cutting to the inside, but then just pushed the puck further deep. Sent around to the near wall. UNB playing it ahead. Can they find an opening here? Thorpe turning, drifting into the UNB zone. She gets a rough ride in the high slot, and we've got a whistle and a penalty coming on that contact. I do believe an interference signal being made, and the Thunderbirds will get a power play here as Lauren O'Neill goes to the box.
It looks like it's actually going to be Marissa Valla taking the penalty there.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. And of course, we're watching the Women's Hockey Championship, but we're going to go to the media timeout. You're watching U Sports Hockey on CBC.
In the heart of Saskatoon, where the winters are long, hockey is not just a sport, it's a way of life. Behind every team, there's a community that supports them. At Connect Energy, we're proud to be a Saskatoon-based company that powers local businesses with natural gas options to help them thrive. We're excited to sponsor the 2024 GFL U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. Join us in supporting local businesses and the future of hockey.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the gold medal game of the 2024 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific from McMaster University in Hamilton. All of the action for U Sports Women's Volleyball Gold is exclusively on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and the CBC Sports app. U Sports on CBC, chase the glory. Thunderbirds going to the power play with 8 minutes to go here in the third. A chance to really stick a nail in the final nail in the coffin here as they look for a fifth. There's a slap shot ringing the pipe right off the post from Sophia Gaskell, looking for her third point of the day. Now each team has found the iron here this afternoon as Bassie knocked down as she tried to make a move. The puck down to Elliott, who will send it back up to Gaskell. Wong down for McKinnon, who leaves it for Grace Elliott, circling to the top of the circle. A shot drifting wide on the far side, and Elliott quickly over to there to pick it up. Bassie double teamed, but puck slips free. McKinnon, a blast just wide. Oh, you don't get many of those on a platter like that. McKinnon couldn't hit the net. Power play time. Half done. Wong into the corner, comes out front. Elliott, a shot. That is stopped. It was slowed a little bit on its way through, but Woodland covers up.
Good job by Woodland there to get her team changed, get some fantastic saves, ice the puck.
Should correct myself too. I said before the break, Lauren O'Neill went to the box. It's Marissa Vala sitting in the box for UNB. Was 13 in red, not 73. My apologies for that.
They both went there.
That's right.
Everyone made the trip together.
That's true. It was a group effort. 45 seconds left in this UBC power play. Morris down for Joelle Fiala to the side of the net. Kordic trying to spin it in front, but that missed Cassidy Rhodes. Shots 32-14 in favor of UBC. And a backhander to the line, but that's held in. Morris's shot, that hit Brokenshire in front of the net, I believe, and now she's tangled up with Fiala in the corner. Kordic plays it back to the point. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Morris to Thorpe through the slot, looking for the tip from Rhodes. That goes off the corner glass. Fiala collects, settles, shoots, tip just wide. Brokenshire off the glass, and down the ice it goes.
Look at that foot race.
Penalties over, Vala out of the box. UNB down to 6 minutes left to try to mount a miraculous comeback. But this game has had the Thunderbirds' talons all over it pretty much from the opening faceoff. Thorpe coming in with a shot, kicked out by Woodland, who has done her level best to try to keep her team in it and give them a chance. UNB just struggling to score here this week. It's not the time when you want your offense to dry up. Just the one goal yesterday and still nothing to show for their efforts here today. Tipped in by Perrier as she turns and makes her way to the UBC bench as we tick down towards the 5-minute mark left here in the third. Baird in a battle there with Murdoch coming off the wall. It was Bassie who left the puck behind, and it's slid out to center ice, played right back in. Chasing it there is Weeb. Played around to the far side, slammed around, and just gets over the stick of LaPlante And now offside, the call at the UNB line.
UNB really going to have to dig deep here, defensively and offensively, if they're going to try to mount a comeback, even just try to get themselves up on the scoreboard, which I think they're hoping for. Don't want to go home with only one goal netted all weekend.
Yeah, right now they're trying to spoil the bid here for Huggins, but they haven't been able to get down to that end of the ice. There's a shot, Misswagen up high, stopped by Woodland. And now looks like Wong got knocked down at the whistle, and still ill tempers Grace Elliott seemed to like whatever was being said or done down there in the pile.
No, and UNB, wow. They've got some heat, some fire, some feistiness today.
Missed that cross-check from Reiner on the, saw that on the replay there. I can see why she was a little annoyed. Although that was Wong who got the rude welcome. UNB trying to get on the board here. In comes Oideman. Throwing it in front. Here's a shot stopped by Huggins. Good chance there for Strome. Elise Huggins once again practically been able to set up a recliner in that UBC crease over the last couple periods here. That's only the 8th shot she's seen since the first period, but that can be a challenge sometime for goaltenders, and she's answered it here.
It really can. You know, it's easy to get your head out of the game when you're not having much action, but she's doing a good job. She's playing the puck when she can. She's making those saves as they slowly come down her way look easy.
And she has a lot of experience in games like this as well. Yes. UBC has played a lot of lopsided games over the last couple of years just because of how good they are. And so she's pretty used to seeing somewhere in the 15 to 20 shot range in a lot of nights, or in this case, days. Brokenshire back in her own zone, 4 minutes left. And this likely in the season here for UNB, barring something absolutely astounding. Wouldn't that be a memory for many, many years to come? Thorpe playing it across to Misswagen. UBC has just looked completely in control here today. Carter back behind her own net. You can even feel the sense of resignation descending on that UBC team as Woodland not resigned to anything though. Great glove save there by Kendra Woodland.
And she just makes it look so easy. She's been tested so many times. Of course, our live score sheet we have has her at 40 saves now. She is busy, busy, busy. And not only that, 13 blocked shots by the Reds.
And another save by Woodland right off the draw. She stops Fleming in tight. So yeah, I was looking at the scoreboard once again, but the shots now 40 to 17 UBC. So Huggins has seen a couple more than I gave her credit for, but still, it's just been an absolute one-sider here since really the start of the second, especially as the shots since the end of the second period are 28 to 10 in favor of the Thunderbirds.
Wow.
As there's a collision along the boards. Bassey tripped up on the play, a penalty coming up to UNB. Pepler gives Murdoch a swat on the rear end as well in response to that play, and the competitive fires continue to burn here, even though the game looks to be in hand, especially now with UBC going to the power play late.
Wow, UNB definitely a different team than they were last night, taking so many more penalties, which has really proved to be a troublesome spot for them. Only allowing 1 goal so far this game on the power play, but not ideal to be doing that.
So 3:10 on the clock, and UBC with a chance to maybe add 1 more here and keep her eyes on Shanreed Bassey, who's out there in the left circle as she's sitting on 2 goals here today. Wong over to Gaskell, who winds, fires, and a shoulder save there by Woodland. McKinnon down to Elliott, who comes out of the corner. Bassey over on the far side, waiting for it, now drifting down to the goal line. A shot from Elliott. Sizzles wide of the post. Comes around to Wong. Good job to hold that in. Down to McKinnon along the boards. Over to Sophia Gaskell and now Wong. Annalise Wong with a shot. That stop sent just wide by Elliott. That missed by about an inch. 2.5 to go. Power play still with 1:15. Wong down for Bassey. Looking for a lane. It's closed off by Brokenshire. He backs it up to Gaskell. Sophia Gaskell's shot blocked by Oideman. And Sydney Oideman clears it down the ice. 55 seconds left in the UBC power play as the Thunderbirds are starting to smell a spot in the 5th place game. As both AUS participants are going to go down here to defeat in the Consolation semifinals. It'll be an all-Canada West matchup in that 5th place game tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun for the fans here. Morris playing it towards the UNB line. The penalty still has 20 seconds remaining as Thorpe heads back into her own zone. No urgency now for UBC as they have it in hand. Fiala leaving it. Kordic tried to get it in deep, but that hit something at the UNB bench. And now Thunderbirds just looking to provide an extra little shield for Huggins over the final minute 19.
Yep, kind of savor what she's got going on in these last few minutes. Huggins has been playing really fantastic, doing a good job of keeping herself in the game.
UNB with the face-off win. That didn't probably feel good for the lineswoman there. Take that clearance right off the calf. Fiala trying to send it in front. The puck stuck in behind the net as Murdoch is out of the box. And they're back to 5-on-5 as we hit the final minute of the third. UBC staring at a victory here on a Saturday in Saskatoon. As that play called offside at the Thunderbird line. Don't forget, 2 big semifinals coming up tonight. The 4 teams that still remain in the quest for the Golden Path Trophy will square off. Concordia, Waterloo coming up after this one, and then the final game of the day, we'll see the Montreal Carabins looking to keep that run going against the Toronto Varsity Blues, the 2 upset winners yesterday, getting together. Looking to be the 2nd straight bottom half seed to win a national title here after the number 8 seeded Mount Royal Cougars turned the trick last year. Into the final half minute now as Woodland leaves that beside the goal. And let's give a salute to a very amazing career for Kendra Woodland and her final moments of U Sports hockey. Man, imagine what's going through her mind right now.
A little bit emotional for sure. A 43-44 as I'm saying
yeah,
it.
40 saves now.
Wow.
For Woodland as that's sent down the ice, and that will do it. UBC wire to wire as the Thunderbirds reveal their true selves here in the Consolation semi. And they take this one 4-0 as the Reds come out to surround their 5th-year goaltender, Kendra Woodland. What an incredible career. One of the all-time greats between the pipes when it comes to U Sports women's hockey. Hard to argue with her as being really just one of the real legends of the game at this level. And it's a tough end to her career, but only a select few can finish off as a champion, and is certainly not taking anything away from her. What a tremendous run with UNB for Kendra Woodland.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. And I mean, I think that's a name that we are still going to be seeing going forward. Hopefully her career not ending at the university level here now that we have more to be playing for, of course.
And let's also not forget the other 5th-year graduating player of the Reds, which is the AUS Player of the Year, Lily George. She bids adieu to her U Sports career as well, and lots to be proud of for her as well, and a great capper for her to earn that individual honor this year as the teams are shaking hands, and then they will line up for the Player of the Game presentations. And how about those UBC Thunderbirds? This is not the way they wanted their week to go, but give them full credit for wiping the slate clean after a very disappointing performance here yesterday to come back and really flex their muscles as the number 2 seed that we kind of expected here at this tournament.
Well, and we really weren't sure what kind of a team was going to be coming out after that really tough loss yesterday. So for them to come out firing the way they did not let off the gas at all in this game against UNB. It was fantastic to see. I mean, we can talk all day long about the offensive skill that they have, but of course, backstopping them, Huggins played so fantastic as well, earning herself a shutout, which let's not forget that either. That's not an easy feat when you're a goaltender.
Didn't we say it earlier? Like the goalie gets overlooked at UBC and
it
just about did it herself.
She just got a shutout,
yeah.
And she might not even be player of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a tremendous game all around from the back end out for UBC. It's nice to see the Thunderbirds making sure to skate past that UNB bench and shake hands with the coaching staff and interim head coach, of course, for UNB, Kyle McDonald, filling in for Sarah Hillworth, who's on leave this season. But great season for UNB. Comes up a little bit short here in the national tournament, but again, 3 straight AUS titles, and they're just getting started as a program. And Kendra Woodland,
picking up that
a little bittersweet here for her, but a player of the game, a well-deserved honor for her. Add that to her bursting collection of mementos and honors as she caps her career with another standout performance. 40 saves. It doesn't come in a victory, but this could have been real ugly if not for her efforts this afternoon. And of course, Shanri Bassi with the 2 goals. Yes, Elise Huggins, honorable mention, but when you outshoot them 44-17 and you have a player score twice, that's just how that works. Bassi gets the player of the game as we get a little photo op here at center, and that will pretty much do it here for us from Merlis Belsher Place. Don't forget, we've got 2 big semifinals coming up tonight. Concordia, Waterloo, that's coming up next. That game will get going at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, and then the nightcap, we'll see Toronto take on Montreal. Thanks so much for watching. On behalf of Brianna Kaminsky and our great crew, I'm Ryan Flaherty. You've been watching U Sports Hockey on CBC.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U Sport. Veraburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Varin, exclusive supplier of U Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues des championnats U Sport. By Connect Energy, proud presenting partner of this U Sports Championship. Par Connect Énergie, fier partenaire de ce championnat U Sport. And by GFL, proud title partner of the 2024 GFL U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. Par GFL, fier partenaire en titre du championnat de hockey féminin U Sport 2024.